Hi, I'm Nathan from JSA OnTheGo. Today I'll be running a complete tutorial on how to create a JSA using the JSA OnTheGo app from start to finish. I'll be using my trusty Samsung Galaxy S8 for this, so let's get started. When you first open the app, you'll be presented with a login screen. Now if you're a company user and you've been emailed your company details, here is where you would press the company login button to get started. If it's just for individual use, go ahead and press the Google or Facebook sign in. Choose the account that you'd like to sign in with. In a moment you will see the free trial activated sign, which is an obligation free trial. Nothing happens at the end of it. There's no recurring automatic subscriptions. That's entirely up to you. So we start by entering the company information. This information is used for the company header on your JSA. You only have to enter it once and it will be reused for every JSA that you create. It can of course be edited later if required. Now the email address that is entered here will be the default email address that will be used when sending your completed JSAs. And logos are optional. Now before we start creating our JSAs, let's have a look at a couple of options in the menu. The first one being the document type, where you can select the terminology used for your JSA. And the other option is whether or not you use critical event mitigation. We will go through that later in another tutorial. So let's get started. We press the Create JSA button, type in the title and the task details, and we can type in the area if required. If you'd like to have a look at a JSA that's already been created in the app, simply press the blue Example JSA button up the top right of the screen. The job overview page is where we do all of our editing for the JSA. At the top we have the company details, which was the information that you typed in at the start. If you tap the arrow on the right of the company details heading, you can actually add more companies. This can be great for sole traders who contract out to different companies. Or you can edit your own company here as well as from the main menu. To complete our job details, we need to enter the site location. We can either geolocate the address, use the company address by tapping the top left button, or select an address from history. Basically every site that you've entered in here will appear in this list, so you can quickly enter the information. Next we add our team members for the job. To add a team member, simply tap the text box up the top, add the name, and press the Done button. As you can see, we have a tap here to assign role message in red. If you see anything in red, it means it needs attention. To add roles, tap the Define Roles button, enter any roles that you require, and they will appear in the list. Next we get to the permit section. Tap the arrow and either select permits that you require and a number or a refer to. If you don't require any permits, select None Required. This is to ensure that this section hasn't been overlooked. Now we're on to the last part, the risk analysis. Firstly, enter all the steps required for the job. Tap the text box, enter the steps. You can also tap the little microphone button on the top right if you'd like to use text to speech. If you've made a mistake in one of your steps, a long press will bring up a little pop-up that will let you edit the step or remove it. If you don't need a step but you still want to keep it there, you can always uncheck it. So we have our steps entered. As you can see, they're all red. Now we need to enter the hazards and controls and rate them. Firstly, enter any hazards required for your step. If you find yourself using a certain hazard or control quite often, if you do a long press on that hazard or control, you can tap the Add to Favorites button, and next time you need to enter that hazard or control, it will bring up a list for you to simply select. You can also delete or duplicate hazards and controls. I'll show you where that can be useful in the next section. If you press the favorites or star button when you are adding your hazards or controls, it will bring up the favorites box, and this will allow you to instantly add that hazard or control to your favorites list. One of the benefits of creating JSAs on your mobile device is that you can also take photos. So this can be very useful where you may have hazards that can't be described very well in words. Simply tap the camera icon to bring up your camera. If you're happy with the photo, just tap the save button or tap the little pencil button down the bottom right if you'd like to do a markup. You can select colors and line thicknesses. And of course there's an undo feature in there as well. After you've entered your hazards, you will need to rate your hazards in order to move on to the controls section. Add your controls in the same way that you added your hazards. To move on to the next screen, you will need to assign either all team members to specific controls or individual team members, and rate the control. Do this for all steps. If you need to assign two individual members to the same control, long press on the control and select duplicate. Here you can assign individual members to the same control. When the risk assessment is complete, you will also see a little icon up the top right hand corner of the job overview screen. If you tap this button, you can send a template to another JSA OnTheGo user so they can import what you've done directly into their app. We also have a free software program that lets you create JSAs directly from your PC or Mac. It's available from the JSA OnTheGo website. Now we're ready to sign our JSA. Simply tap the Sign JSA button. Each team member can then review and sign the document. Tap on any hazard photos to view them larger. Once the document has been signed, the little PDF button up the top right of the screen will be highlighted. Simply tap this button and your PDF file will be created, whether you're online or not. Even though your PDF file is also saved on our cloud server, it is highly recommended to send your email. Tap the email button and your default email client will be launched with the PDF file attached ready to send to the email address that you entered in your company header information. If you are offline, it will be sent when you have an internet connection. Once you've created your JSA once, the next time you need to create a similar JSA, simply tap the Create from Previous button, select the JSA from your list, and choose the information that you would like to transfer into your new JSA. We'll leave out this site address here, simply because we're going to be in a new location. Simply tap the Sign JSA button, have your team members review and sign, and you're ready to go to work. If you have a new team member come on the job, you can use the Amend JSA button. Choose the JSA that you'd like to amend, tap on Team Members, add the new team member, and you're ready to go again. Now I should mention, if you change the risk assessment at all, you will get a message alerting you that the risk assessment has been modified, and as a supervisor you will have to acknowledge this to continue. Your acknowledgement will also appear on the JSA form. To preview your JSA, tap the Preview JSA button, and the JSA will appear in your PDF file viewer if you have one installed. If you're frequently offline, it is advisable every now and then to make sure that your data is synced. Press the Cloud Sync button and tap Sync Now. This will ensure that all of your JSA data is backed up should you lose your phone or need to sign in on another device, and your PDF files are safely backed up on the cloud. JSA OnTheGo also gives you the option to customize your risk matrix. Tap the menu button on the top left of the screen and tap Customize Risk Matrix. You can choose to use between 3 and 5 ranges and assign colors. The range lengths can also be customized. As can the labels. For your matrix grid, the likelihood and consequence labels can also be customized. Simply tap on the label and enter your new one. Tap the Save button up the top right and give it a name. From now on, your document will reflect the risk matrix that you have created. The menu also contains a link to our website and a support email link. Subscriptions can also be purchased from the side menu or by tapping the shopping cart button at the top of the Review and Sign menu. If you don't have a subscription, you can purchase on-demand JSAs as one-offs. Well, that pretty much concludes our tutorial for today. If you're a company and you're looking for company volume licensing, please contact us directly. We'll see you next time.